Hello, people. You're welcome to Pro Up Masterclass. My name is Tola Alabi, and in today's session, we're going to be talking about differentiating between your assignment and your job. So we're going to be looking at the differences between your assignment and your job. Now, if you really want to appreciate today's session, then I will advise that you go back and listen to the session before this, which is titled "Are You Depressed and Unfulfilled? Then this is for you." Because in that session, I talked about how having an assignment, knowing what your assignment is as a person, can give you a lot of fulfillment, personal fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, financial fulfillment, just knowing what your assignment is. And in that session, I took some time to talk about my journey and how I was personally very sad because I didn't know what my assignment was. I was basically just going from day to day in this rat race of working. But I spoke about how I found my assignment and how that has led to a lot of personal fulfillment in my life. And I know a lot of people that are depressed and sad, and a lot of it is basically because they do not have a cause for their life. There is no assignment, no calling upon their lives. Our advice should listen to that because that will really put this session in context for you. So the last session is called "Are You Depressed and Unfulfilled? This is for you." I'd advise take time to listen to that, and then listen to this afterwards. But if you've listened to that, after I put up that session, I got quite a number of people asking me this question, and the question was, how do I know what my assignment is? How do I find out what my assignment is? Is my assignment my job? And that was a question I got from a number of people, and I want to use this session to address that quickly. Now, I think I'll start by saying I truly believe every person should have an assignment and a job. I truly believe everyone should have an assignment and a job. If you are to have a complete life, you must have an assignment and a job. Now, it's not hard to know what a job is. I don't think I need to define a job for anybody or for most people. Most people know what a job is. A job is that thing you do. Sometimes you enjoy it, sometimes you don't. But basically, a job is that thing you do, which at the end of the day, you get paid for. You get paid to do your job. And it helps you to foot your bills. It helps you to live. It pays for some expenses. You understand? It helps you to be a productive member of society and to live a somewhat comfortable life, depending on what your job is. But that's what a job is what you do to get paid for, and you get paid for it. So we all have, most of us know what job is. We know what jobs, we know what it takes to engage in a job. The way Nigeria is right now, not too many people have jobs. You understand? The unemployment rate is pretty high. But the truth is that a lot of us are open to getting jobs. A lot of people are open to getting jobs. And that's why when you put out a vacancy out there, a lot of people would apply because people are open to getting jobs, mainly because they want to survive. Because a job helps you to survive. It pays for your rent, it pays for your food, it pays for your clothing, So it helps you to survive. On the other hand, there's the assignment, which a lot of people are pretty much ignorant of. A lot of people are not aware of the need to have an assignment in their life. It's very important. And I dare to say, a life without an assignment, a life that just exists mainly on a job, a life without an assignment, is a hassled life, is a horrid life. It's I dare to say, an unhappy life, an unfulfilling life. I don't care what your job is. I don't care how much you're being paid. I don't care how fancy your job seems. If all you have in your life is your job that pays for your expenses, and pays for your needs and helps you to survive, then the truth is your life is hassled, is hurried, is unfulfilled, is stressed. An assignment brings a level of sanity to your life and brings a huge amount of fulfillment to you as a person. And that's why it's very important for us to know what our assignment is and what our job is. So I'm going to tell you some of the differences between an assignment and a job. Now, I would start from remuneration, because that's a very important thing. Now, as I said initially, starting this session, a job is something you do and you get paid for. The intention is to perform a function, and you must get paid. If you're not paid, it's not a job. So the intention is you get paid. You get paid the salary, you get paid wages, but you must get paid. It might be a weekly, it might be daily, it might be monthly. You must get paid at the end of a job. That's one big difference. But with the assignment, you do not get paid, or you do not do it for payment. I think I'd rather put it that way. You do not do it for payment. As a matter of fact, an assignment is something you do for those who most likely cannot pay you. Is that activity you engage in for people who most likely cannot pay you. Now, it doesn't even have to be people. And what I mean by this is, I'll give you this example. Some people, their assignment is to rescue stray animals, stray dogs, stray cats. That is their assignment. I'm in the habit of watching YouTube videos of people that rescue stray or abused animals. That's their assignment. That's what fulfills them. Nobody pays them to do it. Definitely the dog cannot pay you for rescuing it from the streets. But there are people that actually do that. That is their assignment. They have an inner calling within them, a passion within them to save stray, stranded, abused animals. Those animals definitely cannot pay them. We have people whose assignment is to reach out to less privileged children. Understand? Less privileged children. Some of them reach out to abandoned children. Now, it's very evident that these children cannot pay them. The children can't pay them because they're children. They don't have jobs. They don't have earnings. So they can't pay them. But some people find themselves, they are drawn, they have a passion. They have that calling to go out and help children. Some people, their assignment might be to help the less privileged. So children, adults, but people who just don't have a means of earning, their assignment might just be, to cook for them, to set up a kitchen, or set up a shelter, a home where people can just come and pass the night and go the next day, or just come and have a meal. Now that's their assignment. Those people cannot pay. They cannot pay because they are less privileged. They do not have the means to pay. So a lot of times your assignment is for people who cannot pay you for offering the service you offer to them. And I tell people that a lot of times I find myself, and this is what I saw in my assignment, is giving hope to a lot of people that are starting off in business. A lot of them designers, some non-designers, but to give hope to them and give advice. Now, a lot of people, they're just starting out their business. They definitely can't pay me. I've been in business for 17 years. I'm pretty much very well to do compared to these people. So they cannot pay me. But I spend hours creating content for people. Some of them have never made a dime before. But I put them on this road towards having hope and confidence to do what they're passionate about and to start making a living from it, to live life more audaciously. They can't pay me, and I realize that. But the payment I get from them is the fulfillment I get when I offer this service. The payment the person that rescues dogs gets is the fulfillment. It's the fulfillment from rescuing dogs. The person that helps children, the fulfillment from helping children. The fulfillment is the payment for an assignment. The money is the payment for a job. That's one big difference. So if there's that one thing nagging on your mind, it's been nagging your mind for a very long time, and you are like, oh, these people cannot pay me, and you've been pushing it away because you don't see a way in which people can pay you for that service. You say, I can't do this because it cannot take care of me. These people I'm going to be rendering this service to cannot pay me. Then that's most probably your assignment. You've been pushing your assignment away. If you'll be having this nagging thought in your mind to go and clean gutters somewhere where the people cannot afford to pay you for cleaning the gutters, that is your assignment. You know, it has been on your mind. Just feel like, I just want to see this environment clean. That's your assignment. You get more fulfillment than any amount of money would give you by doing it. Don't get swayed by the fact that people cannot pay you for the service. They are not meant to pay you for your assignment. It is your assignment. It is your assignment. And it's probably the most significant part of your life. A lot of people give a lot of significance to their jobs that pays them. But in the long run, your job is not going to matter as much as your assignment will matter. And I say this, I'm a person of faith. I read the Bible and I get a lot of my thoughts and my values from the Bible. And you know, the Bible is very clear on having an assignment and having a job. There are a lot of Bible characters that you see that had assignments and had jobs. Nehemiah had an assignment and he had a job. His job was to be a cupbearer to the king. His assignment was to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem. Paul had a job. He was a tent maker. His assignment was to propagate the gospel. That's why he wrote more than half of the New Testament. Jesus Christ had a job. He was a carpenter. But we all know that he had a bigger assignment: to save and to bring salvation to people. Now, when you look at these three characters from the Bible, you see, Nehemiah's job as a cupbearer was restricted to one chapter in the Bible. His assignment in rebuilding the wall was spanned through a number of chapters. In fact, 99% of the chapters in Nehemiah was dedicated towards his assignment. The same thing with Paul. He was a tent maker, but that detail was restricted to one verse. But then his assignment of spreading the gospel spanned through a number of books, more than 4 or 5 books in the New Testament. Jesus Christ was a carpenter, and I think that was also restricted to a verse or so. But the assignment has spanned through generations. Your job seems very important right now, but trust me, when the story of your life is being written, what is going to really stand the test of time is your assignment. That is what's going to affect and touch people's lives the most. So it's very important. It's very important to find out what your assignment is. And you know it. A lot of you know it, but think that you are discouraged because you feel it's not taking care of you. There isn't enough you in the picture. But it's not meant for you. It's meant for other people who are grateful because you are doing it. So that's the first difference between an assignment and a job. Now, that said, an assignment can bring you a lot of favor in the long run. So you might say, oh, it doesn't pay me. But the truth of the matter is, when you do your assignment for long enough, you would find people that would come and want to support your assignment. So they support it. You find people that would want to appreciate you for doing your assignment. They're not paying you a salary. They're not paying you a wage. But they're appreciating you. Some of them give you material things, some of them give you financial things, some of them give you some amount of favor, access. That's what your assignment does for you. They give some form of publicity that other people have to pay for. That's the favor that comes from doing your assignment. And sometimes that favor can do way more than your job or your salary you get from your job can do. But that cannot be why you are doing the assignment. Those are just part of the perks of doing the assignment. It's a byproduct. It cannot be why. The why is to serve. Now, I also have people think, and they ask, must I be certified for my assignment? And that's another difference between the job and your assignment. For a job, as I said initially, you don't need to love your job. I think people put too much emphasis on loving their job, but you don't. You really don't need to love your job. There's only one requirement every person that has a job is required to do. Only one. You need to be professional. The only thing your job requires is professionalism. You need to be professional at your job. And that might mean getting a certificate, going to learn more about the job you're doing, being knowledgeable about this job you are into, being able to talk with people in a professional way. You must be professional in showing up at your job, coming early, having a closing time. All these things are part of professionalism. You must have a time when you close, a time when you open, how you interact. Be qualified. Qualification is important for people that have jobs. The job requires professionalism. A job doesn't necessarily require passion. And I think we get it twisted a lot. So a lot of people turn down jobs because they are not passionate. No. It's good to be passionate because when you're passionate, it helps you to be more professional. But it's not necessary. It's not necessary to be passionate. So I see a lot of people turn down jobs that they seriously need because they say, I don't enjoy doing this job. The job doesn't require you enjoying it. A job requires you to turn up as a professional, to be professional in your approach to your job, and to have the necessary qualifications. So it's important to be professional when you're doing the job. An assignment, however, doesn't need qualification. Might not need qualification, let me put it that way. Might not, and most times doesn't need you to be qualified. For those that are going out to rescue dogs, they don't need to be qualified, certified dog rescuers. People that are going out to feed less privileged people, to take food to them every weekend, every Monday or stuff like that, they don't need to be qualified or certified caterers. You don't need to be qualified or certified to do your assignment. You don't need to be. I give advice to people. I'm not a qualified or certified advisor or business consultant in that sense. I'm a designer. I'm qualified in branding, but advising people about purpose and life, no, I'm not. But I do it because it comes from a place of passion. And that's important in an assignment. There must be passion. It's something you're passionate about. There must be. It's a very, very important ingredient in following or knowing your assignment. It's an area you're passionate about. It nags on your mind when you're sleeping, when you're eating, when you're walking. It's there. It's passion. There must be passion for an assignment. There doesn't necessarily need to be passion for a job. But there must be passion for an assignment. You must be passionate about what you do with your assignment. And the earlier people get to realize that, look, I can work a job, but this job doesn't have the responsibility to make me happy or to fulfill me. Because when you try to get what you're meant to get from an assignment in a job, you become frustrated. So you have people that do menial jobs, and you wonder why this person seems to be so happy doing this low paying job or this ugly, dirty job. A lot of them might not be, it's not their dream job. It's not their dream job to do that dirty, low-paying job, but they realize that it's not. Look, they just need to show up and they need to be professional about it. But those people find happiness thinking about the assignment. So I might turn up at my job as a designer, which I am very lucky because I love being a designer, which is my job. I'm a designer. And I turn up at my job, but you know what? Even when I'm doing design that I'm not happy or excited about, I think about my assignment while doing my job. And it gives me energy to do my job. It keeps me smiling while I'm doing my job. It's not about the job. The job doesn't have the ability to fulfill you. That's your assignment. Only your assignment can do that. So passion is very important. It's a very, very important detail in finding out what your assignment is. Find out that area that you're passionate about. That thing that you're passionate about. You see, the mistake a lot of people make is they try to get qualified for the assignment first before doing it. And that's what delays a lot of people from doing the assignment. They're like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm not qualified. Okay, maybe I should spend the next 2 years getting a qualification for this assignment. So they put their assignment on hold for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, till they feel they're qualified enough. One thing I realized with such people is that they never feel they're qualified enough. So even when they get that certificate, they're like, okay, maybe I should get this other certificate to get me qualified enough to take care of children. Get this other certificate to get me qualified enough to encourage single mothers. You understand? So they try to stall with accumulating qualification. But I dare to say that your assignment is not about being professional. You don't have to be a professional to turn up for your assignment. And don't let anybody intimidate you to say, oh, you're not a professional. What qualification do you have to do this for your assignment that you give out for free? No. It is your assignment. What qualifies you is your passion. And you do it from a place of passion. For most assignments, I'm sure there are a few assignments out there that might need some qualification. But those are the exceptions, not the norms. A lot of your assignments are rooted in passion. And with passion, you can start now. Remember, it's not a job. It's not a job. You go out and do it because you're passionate about it. So stop putting off your assignment. Stop making the excuse that you need to get a certification to do your assignment. No, you don't. You know you can start. You need certification for your job, but you don't need it for your assignment. Most of us don't need it for assignment. So start. Now, I really want us to go through these two major differences that we've spoken about with your assignment and your job. Number one, your job pays you. There's an expectation of payment at the end of the day with your job. Your assignment most times doesn't pay you. don't have the expectation of payment. But the fact that it doesn't pay you doesn't mean it cannot reward you. As a matter of fact, it can reward you in more ways than your job can. But the reason you do it is not to get paid. Number 2, your job requires professionalism. So with a job, the more qualifications you have, the better your chances of doing your job. With an assignment, most times it doesn't require you to be qualified. It requires your heart, your passion. So the more passionate you are about doing your assignment and getting it done, the more successful you will be at doing your assignment. So if you have a difficulty identifying the differences between your job and assignment, think of these 2 things, and hopefully it will give you more clarity and help you to live a more fulfilled life eventually.